What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sean's Outdoors. We're gonna be out here testing the theory. Is it worth having a $2,000 live scope in order to catch fish? Or is it easier and you catch the same amount of fish using the good old traditional way, bottom bouncer and spinner? So we're gonna see if my $2,000 purchase is actually worth it, or if I could have just stuck with my $50 rod and caught the same amount of fish. So let's go find out. We are in Minnesota, so I can only have one rod in the water at a time, which isn't gonna help the spinner theory at all, but I think we'll do okay. It's a smaller lake. The sun's now shining, so it might get a little bit busy here. Hopefully all them wakeboarders can stay out of our way. I don't know, we'll cruise around, throw a line in the water and see which one is more efficient. $2,000 live scope or $50 fishing rod with a bottom bouncer and spinner and a night crawler. Which one can catch more fish? Is it worth spending $2 grand? I don't know. We're gonna find out though. The thing about trolling is I'm bored, you know? When you have your live scope mounted up and you can actually see fish and structure down below, you get that reassurance that there's fish here, right? So when you're trolling, you don't get any of that. The best I can do, as I say that, I think he's off. He's off. What I was trying to say is, right, so I just get bored trolling, you know? You can go hours and hours and hours without catching anything, and it just makes you think, like, is there even fish down there? Are they not biting? Where when you have a live scope out there, you can tell, like, okay, well, I have this jig, I have this setup, and the fish see it, but they don't react to it, you know? So I think that's probably the biggest thing when it comes to trolling versus a live scope. But again, is that worth $2,000? I don't know. But we're gonna try and put this to the test and see, can I catch the same amount of fish just by trolling? Or am I gonna catch more fish with a live scope when I can see schools of fish? I can change my setups to figure out what they're reacting to, what they're not reacting to. But either way, you're out on the water catching fish. That's all it is, you know, that's all it's about. There we go. Woo! Little northern pike here. I don't want to put him in the net, but I also don't want to deal with 2 hooks in a northern right now. Yep. Little northern pike. Not what I'm going for, but honestly, we're just testing the theory. Is trolling better than having a $2,000 live scope? That's one for the trolling. That's one of those things I was talking about too, right? So you're gonna catch northern all over Minnesota. They're just everywhere. That's how it works. But trolling, you don't know what you're catching. You don't know what you're going for. You can try certain depths for certain fish, but in reality, it's a guessing game. And sometimes it's fun, but sometimes you really just don't want to mess with northern, and you have to deal with them all day. So a little bit of give and take. Let's drop it back down, see what else we can find here. That's a fish. Feels heavy, not too many shakes. Could it be? Oof, heavy. Nope. I was hopeful. Thought there was a chance we could have gotten a walleye out here. Another northern. feisty little guy. He's going back quickly. Another northern. Bye-bye, buddy. See you later. So we're in about an hour and a half. We've been trolling here. Just have gotten those 2 northern. I think I'm gonna pack up here in a minute and go try another spot out. It's a waiting game. You don't know when you're gonna catch a fish. But so far it's been pretty slow trolling. Nice day out on the lake. A little bit of traffic. Not fun, but can't help it. So pack up and move to a new spot. All right, made it to our destination. This is a kind of a crazy part of the lake. It goes 44 feet gradual up to about 20 feet, and then it's a big wall, so it comes right up to about 5 feet. So really deep to very shallow quickly. We're gonna start out a little bit deeper, probably stay around that 30-foot range for now. Time to sit back and relax and troll. Got ourselves a little competition here, I guess. All right, I must be on the fish. Just cruising along here and these guys throw an anchor 50 feet in front of me as I'm cruising. Can't make this stuff up. No, that's fine. I guess I'll get out of your way. That was a hit. Yep. That guy hit hard. Yep. There it is. Unhook 2000. That's how you do that. That is northern number 3 on the day. At least it's not boring, right? Keep cruising here. We're halfway through this first pass, so that was pretty quick into this next spot here. Yep, we're on. This one feels pretty heavy. It's kind of kicking like a northern though. What do we got here? What do we got here? Oh, look at that. Nice little walleye. Oh. Nice little walleye, probably 14 inches. Nice eater. I don't need to keep them, but very nice little eater. Okay, so it's been probably about 300 yards, 400 yards since I've caught that walleye. So there's a lot of give and take to this, but so far I'm having a blast just cruising, putting the electronics away. All I'm using right now is my map. I'm not using side imaging. I'm not doing anything. I'm literally just using my map, which anybody could have. You could have on your phone, right? So I'm literally just using a map, finding points around the lake and cruising each point and trying to find a depth. I'm trying to stick around that 22 foot. Right here it drops off dramatically super quickly, so right now I'm at 43 feet, but if I move 50 feet towards the shore, I'm back at 22, you know, so I'm just using a depth finder with a map and just trying to stay in that 22 foot range. But yeah, we'll just keep cruising over that spot. I'll give it probably 1 or 2 passes, and if we don't see anything else or don't catch anything else, then I'm just gonna keep cruising along this point that I was following, so. And we're on. Nice little bluegill. Another score for trolling. The traditional old-fashioned way. This guy inhaled it. Bluegill. Later, buddy. I think we got him. Nope, worm's gone though. But we know they're here. School of bluegill. You can just feel how they hit it. Little tiny jerks. But on that note, that is going to be the end of my trolling for the day. 3 northern, 1 eater walleye, and we found a school of bluegill. So it was a good way to get around the lake and figure out where some fish are. It's hard to pinpoint them, right? But it's not an inefficient way of catching fish. So we're gonna come back in a little bit, live scope, and see, is it worth $2 grand to have a live scope, or should I just stick to trolling? So stay tuned. And just like that, we're back. Time for the live scope. Now, we went trolling this morning, or I should say early afternoon, and we did pretty good. I think it was 3 northern, 1 nice walleye, 1 eater walleye, and then we found a school of bluegill. So we did good. Now we are going to attempt to do better with a live scope, if it's possible. Who knows? See if we can find some fish and compare. Is a live scope worth the money, or could you spend $2 grand elsewhere on better rods, a nicer trolling motor, and skip the whole live scope thing in the first place and just stick with the traditional way, trolling, and doing it the old-fashioned way, really. So we are going to find out very soon. There we go. That felt good. Seems decent too. Heavy, good shakes. This has got to be a walleye here. I found a perfect school. There's probably 4 or 5 of them. Yeah, this guy's fighting good. He's heavy. Got a net on standby here, so let's just get him up here. He's got some weight to him. This one here is just a jig in the minnow. This is my catch-all. Oh yeah. Nice fish. Very nice fish. Come on, bud. Get up here. Nice fish. That was pretty sweet. Oh, that felt good. Got him unhooked. I'm gonna give this guy a breather and grab a board and see how long he has. This guy had some weight to him. Be nice now. Here we go. Nice 22 incher. 22 incher. on the live scope, we'll get this guy back. That's a nice fish though. Now, that was fun first off. Second off, I was able to spot that pod of fish from about 50 feet out, right? So that's the advantages of having a live scope. Like, I could tell that was walleye, right? The way they acted, how big they were on the graph. The first pod of fish that we saw, they didn't react to anything that I had. That, nice and easy jig and minnow, did the job, right? So there's advantages to how you fish with a live scope. You're able to spot and stalk, basically. That's kind of what I just did. So I don't know if you can tell that huge cloud of bait fish 40 feet off, and you can see a couple of bigger marks right on the bottom of them. Oh yeah, this is right off the weeds here. Pile of bait fish right off these weeds. We're gonna give this a go and see what they are. My guess is bluegill. Be pretty cool if we can get into some crappie, but all that is all bait fish, and then you'll see bigger fish roaming right there. That looks like a big rock. You'll see bigger fish roam on the bottom, but we're gonna see what these are here. All right, decent school, 25 to 40 feet out. I was basically right in the middle of them. There's one. There's a nice little panfish. Nice bluegill. A little slab. Quick and easy, nice little bluegill. Throw them back. Small piece of structure down there too. Looks like a log of some sort. Being able to identify different things as you go is probably the biggest plus of having a live scope, because all you're doing is just scanning the bottom of the lake, right? So being able to figure out where good structure is, finding the exact and pinpointing the exact edges of weeds, finding specific fish, you can figure out how they're reacting to different lures, different situations. Two decent walleye cruising the bottom. Let's see what we can do here. Moved up to about 30 feet now, so I'm gonna spot lock and start casting over the top of them here. That was a pretty bad cast, so I'm gonna reel that up. Get over the back of them and then reel it in towards me. That was better. Letting that jig just sink straight down, right behind these fish. Now I'm just a hair above them. I'm gonna start bringing it in nice and easy. And once looking at it coming up right now, bang, and we're on just like that. And that is the coolest part about having a live scope. It's got a little bit of weight to him. Let a little drag out. This is, I think, 6-pound line, so I'm not trying to fight him too hard. Let him wear himself out. Oh yeah, there's a nice run. That's a nice run. This could be a decent walleye. Got my net on standby. I'm just gonna let him work himself up. Not gonna fight him too hard. Let him come up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, nice fish. And would you look at that? A northern. Who would have thought? I was wrong. I was wrong. Not a terrible northern though. Hooked him perfect too. Which is pretty impressive. You don't normally see a school of northern. Oh yeah, let it out, buddy. And he's in the net. That's probably 26, 25-inch northern. Nothing crazy, but pretty cool to see it all on the live scope, right? Decent northern, Probably, I'm not gonna hold them too long, probably 25, 26 inches. We'll let them go. Back to the bottom. Pretty cool though. Got to see that all happen live on the LiveScope. The way he was acting and the way he came up and was fighting, I could have swore that was a walleye, but sometimes you just never know, even if you have a LiveScope, right? Yeah, either way, little gator kept us busy for a bit. That was fun. He did not fight like a northern normally does. All right, so here's my consensus, right? Is a LiveScope worth $2,000 plus to have for fishing? I personally say if you can do it, it's absolutely worth it. I fish by myself quite a bit, and so for me, being able to go out, find fish, move around, and do what I want to do it's just preferred, right? And if your situation is you're with a group of guys, you fish 2, 3, 4 guys in a boat, throwing a LiveScope around and casting with 4 guys on the boat is not efficient, right? If you fish with a group of guys, I think it's a lot harder to use a LiveScope because there's not as much room on a boat. For me personally, in small lakes in Minnesota, some lakes in North Dakota, having a LiveScope, me going out and fishing by myself the LiveScope is just a huge game changer. Whereas if you are with a group of guys, it's just way more efficient to throw rods off the side in rod holders and just troll. It's a lot less of a mess. For me, a LiveScope's worth it. I don't tournament fish, at least yet. I want to. But just personal recreational fishing, I don't see why you wouldn't want a LiveScope. Yeah, what a great day of fishing. I just want to say thanks for watching, and please make sure you subscribe. If you have anything that you want to know, anything you want me to follow up on, please leave it in the comments. Yeah, we'll catch you on the next episode. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.